This story is unbelievable. Oh my goodness. So when I mean this story is unbelievable, I mean this story is truly unbelievable. Because after looking into the details of the story, I didn't want to believe it was true. Okay? I don't want to believe what I know of this story. I don't want it to believe that it's true. Hopefully something comes out that says, hey, it's a psych, this is a prank, this is a joke, this is not true, this is a different retelling of what happened in the actual story, something like that. Because if this story is true, then this is some really, I know I say a lineage of evil, but this goes above and beyond such evil behavior. Like, this is just monstrous stuff. Because I was looking into the prosecutor's statements, I was looking into Lee Merritt's statements, and I'm trying to piece together as far as what happened to this kid. Who I'm referring to is a young black kid named Ralph Yarl. Now, Ralph Yarl he's a good student. He's getting good grades. He's a musician, right? That's why you don't hear anything from the right. Now, if this kid had a juvenile record, if he was in trouble, right, if he was banging or something, okay, that the right could hold over him, then you would have Fox News and Tucker Carlson, everyone would be talking about this story. This would be the story of all stories, okay? Look, they're trying to make a hero out of this criminal, this villain. It's, kind of similar to what they did with Botham Jean, but instead of attacking Botham Jean, they just defended Amber Geiger. Just really snaky stuff. Once again, lineage of evil. Nevertheless, you have this kid, Yarl. Now, Yarl was told to go pick up his brother, and he goes. But unfortunately, he goes to 115 Street instead of 115 Terrace. Common mistake, right? When people say Road, Boulevard, Street, he goes, and at this place is Lester. Now, Lester is an old, I think he's 84-year-old man, and he's about to go to sleep. It's around 10 p.m. Now, what is alleged to have happened is that Yarl rang the doorbell, okay, and he waited. Now, Lester, upon going to sleep, he hears his doorbell, and he goes and gets his gun. Lester then goes to the door, and this is where I'm more inclined to believe what the prosecutor said in the statements as opposed to Lee Merritt, because Lee Merritt seems like he was all over the place. Because what Lee Merritt said is that he rang the doorbell, waited, Lester got his gun, opened the door, said, "Don't come around here," and then fired. Okay, fired twice. Now, that's night and day from what the statements have said.
He just waited at that door. He heard rustling around going on in the house, and then finally the door was open. And he was confronted by a man who told him, "Don't come back around here." And then he immediately fired his weapon.
That's why I'm like, Lee Merritt, I think he may be completely off his rocker in this regard, in this one interview that I saw. In regards to the prosecutor and the statements he was referencing, Lester gets his gun, goes to the door. Now, he alleges that he saw a black person open the door or trying to grab at the door or something like that, which doesn't make any sense, okay? It doesn't make any sense how that came to be. Because if he rang the doorbell, right, you don't ring a doorbell and then automatically go to open the door. That's not what you do, okay? That's not what you do. Especially if it was shown that he heard rummaging around, right? You're going to wait till someone opens the door. And that's what Merritt says as far as he waited. More inclined to believe that based off of, the totality of this entire circumstance. But once again, of course, I don't believe men, I don't believe women, I believe the facts and evidence. So the facts and evidence are going to come out once the trial comes. Clearly, there's some facts and evidence that led prosecutors to believe that they have a case to prosecute Lester. Lester comes, he alleges he saw dude opening the door. He fires twice. One in the head, and then allegedly after he's on the ground, he fires again and hits him in the forearm. That's when he says, "Don't come around here." Allegedly, he hears him say that. Now, Yarl, I'm sure Yarl is shook by now. Yarl starts running to neighbors' houses trying to look for help. Can't find any help. Go figure. I think he gets to one neighbor, and the neighbor tells him to lay down on his back with his hands up until help comes.
At this point, he got up and he ran. I'm told he ran to 3 different neighbors' homes. He banged on the doors there, or knocked on the doors there. And then the third neighbor gave him instructions to put his hands in the air and lie on the ground, which he did. And at some point, medical people arrived and took him to a hospital.
And I'm thinking, you're treating him like a criminal, You're gonna treat this kid like a criminal or lay down with your hands up? I don't know. That's just how it comes off to me. Maybe that the neighbor, giving them the benefit of the doubt, maybe the neighbor is like, hey, you're a black in a predominantly white neighborhood. For your safety, if the police come, it's best that you probably have your hands up. Maybe, right? Give them the benefit of the doubt. But how it comes off is that you see this black kid who's been shot, who's clearly the victim, and you think he's he's the villain. You think he's the bad guy. So it's like, just put your hands up and then lay down on your back. Like, something you see from cops or something like that. Nevertheless, to add on top of all this is that the prosecutor said that there was a racial component to this shooting.
As the prosecutor, Clay County, I can tell you there was a racial component to the case.
Now, the fact that he added that but didn't elaborate, right? He doesn't say what exactly is this racial component to the shooting, okay? You're not charging a hate crime because he says that it would be a lesser degree and eventually lead to double jeopardy. So
in the state of Missouri, hate crimes can be E or D felonies, which carry with it a lower range of punishment than what the defendant is currently charged. At that point, you would be talking about double jeopardy issues.
Okay, but there's a racial component here. But he doesn't tell us more because he doesn't want to litigate it, in front of the TV. Got it. So then that leads me to think that Lester came down, right? He saw a black person at his door and just fired. That's the only conclusion I can come to as far as this racial component. Is that Lester, an old white guy, okay, 80-something years old, and we all know anyone who's 80-something and white probably doesn't have the fondest memories of black people in this country. Doesn't probably just keep it in a buck, okay? They remember the good old times for them is a little bit different for everyone else, okay? For me, good old times was like, I don't know, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. For them, it was like colored water fountain, white water fountain, all right? So those are very, very two different things. And I don't want to believe that. I genuinely don't want to believe that. Because you have to understand that what to extrapolate from this story. And that is really not, it just puts black Americans, it puts us in a very precarious position in this country. Because not only do we have no representation, not only do we have no friends, but now you can't even ring a door, you can't even get a wrong address, fam. Is that what we're talking about? So now you can't make any mistakes, okay? Even the most little mistakes, first off, is going to send you to the prison pipeline, or it's going to result in you getting popped. Like, what? Man, that I fear for anyone who has kids, aunties, nephews, where does that leave you? That's why I really don't want to believe this story. I hope this story is something comes out and it completely changes the narrative, because this narrative is actually true, okay? If the statements are factual and accurate, then this is terrifying. It's as simple as that. This is straight terrifying. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe Lucas, this is all just a liberal media, okay? He was defending himself, all right? That kid probably tried to rob him, go into his place, and he stood his ground, okay? Castle doctrine, Lucas, castle doctrine. Or if you believe, yeah, I hear you, but that's not what the facts and evidence are leading to. Okay, that's not what it's suggested. Suggesting this man got spooked by a black person at his door. That's what it's looking like, okay? We'll find out to see whether or not that's accurate, but that's the story we have as of right now. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. Once again, Lineage of Evil.